Hi there, this revision video looks at bounded rationality. Now, bounded rationality, an important concept in behavioural economics, is a concept and decision-making theory that suggests that we are not perfectly rational when we make our choices. So instead of making always the optimal decision, people tend to make satisficing decisions. They settle for a decision, a choice, a solution that's good enough given the cognitive limitations, the time constraints, and the information we have. In other words, what does it mean? Bounded rationality means that people do the best they can within the bounds of their mental capabilities and circumstances. Now, the term bounded rationality was introduced by the famous economist Herbert Simon, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, and this concept has been around for nearly 80 years. What Simon did was he challenged the view, the classical, neoclassical view, if you like, that people always make decisions by rationally weighing up all the alternatives, all the costs and benefits. No, they don't do that. People lack complete, full information, especially when they're making a decision about a product which is complex. Their cognitive or their brain processing power is limited. Mental energy is limited and is often used up when making calculations. The time for decision making is often short, and therefore decision makers use heuristics. Now, heuristic is also known as a mental shortcut or a basic rule of thumb instead of complex analysis. Instead of being rational agents, they are satisficing agents. And I think it's an important idea to build into your discussion in exams, because bounded rationality reflects how people actually behave, not how they would behave in a theoretical, perfectly rational world. A couple of examples here. Consumer choice. The famous study of jams and cereals suggested that shoppers faced with too many brands of cereal or jam just choose the one they've heard of before, not necessarily the best one nutritionally or financially. They follow a simple heuristic. If I quite liked that jam last time or that cereal, well, I'll just buy the same again. Investors tend to follow the herd or base decisions on recent news. That's called recency bias, instead of deep financial analysis, again showing bounded ability to process complex financial data. When it comes to taking out bank loans or making decisions on credit, many people don't fully understand all the terms and conditions of loans or credit cards, so they tend to focus instead on can they afford the monthly payments, or can they afford the interest rate alone, which can lead to costly choices. People are using simplified cues when making a decision. And when it comes to fast food, when people are hungry in a rush, perhaps at lunchtime or on the way back from work, they often pick familiar fast food options instead of evaluating all available restaurants or comparing nutritional information. The decision is made quickly, with limited information, and it's based on prior experience. This is a classic satisficing move. So please be aware of bounded rationality, especially when you're revising departures from pure rational behaviour in economics.